I'm not sure if it's a nostalgia thing or if it's a functionality thing, but I really loved the GameCube controllers. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I'm going to be taking a look at the Wizard made by NYXI. It's a GameCube style Pro Controller Joy-Con combo for the Nintendo Switch. Now, NYXI is actually a really solid brand. Everything I've tried of theirs I've pretty much liked, and they actually make my favorite third-party Joy-Cons for the Switch, which is the Hyperion. Will the Wizard live up to the standards that NYXI has set with some of the other products in their lineup? Let's find out. Inside the box, you have the Wizard itself, some paperwork, a USB Type-C cable for charging, and a set of alternative gate rails for the joysticks. We'll touch more on that in a little bit. Now, the controller isn't particularly heavy, which is usually a red flag for third-party gamepads, but it feels about as solidly built as some of the other products I've tried from NYXI, and they've all held up until this point. It's got 4 face buttons set up exactly like the GameCube gamepad. It's got a nice clicky tactile directional pad. You got your 2 analog sticks that currently have the octagonal gates on them. You also have your plus minus, home, and screenshot, as well as these 2 profile buttons that are used to assign macro inputs. And also on the bottom you have these turbo buttons. The shoulder buttons are mechanical and similar to the D-pad are very tactile and clicky. And over on its backside you have these 2 programmable paddle style buttons. The buttons, D-pad, and joysticks feel of excellent quality. Speaking of the joysticks, these joysticks are actually Hall effect. For those who are unaware, Hall effect joysticks use magnets instead of physical connectors, meaning in theory, these should never drift like standard Joy-Cons do. And the reason why I say in theory is because anything is possible. But on paper, you should never experience stick drift with these joysticks. And like I previously stated, these joysticks are modular to a certain degree. You can actually twist the gate and it completely pops off. It could be a little bit of a pain in the ass at first, but after you do it a few times, it gets much more smooth. Now, the Wizard comes with an alternative gate for the joysticks. The octagonal gates are on there initially and you can swap them out for the circle ones. But for an additional $6, you can actually buy this joystick expansion kit that comes with 4 additional gates and 4 additional alternative joysticks. I added the stubby nub C-stick type to mine, giving it an even more authentic GameCube feel. The joystick expansion kit isn't absolutely necessary, but for $6 you really can't go wrong. One thing I have to point out is that as good as the buttons feel, the A button doesn't protrude the way it does on an authentic GameCube controller. It still feels good, but the level of immersion is foiled by that one specific detail. Now, as far as playing games with it, any GameCube re-release that's on the Nintendo Switch feels absolutely great using the Wizard. Also, the buttons light up, which is a nice little touch. They have a 500 milliamp hour battery that can give you up to 8 hours of playtime on a single charge. It could be my nostalgia talking, but some of these games feel so much better using a GameCube layout. Using it for some more modern releases can feel a tiny bit awkward at points, and definitely requires a slight learning curve. It's a good thing that the Switch allows you to completely alter the mapping of any gamepad, making the Wizard much more than just a novelty item. For more competitive style games, this is where the difference in the A button really comes into play. I used to beat the hell out of that A button. It felt almost like an arcade button that was fused onto a gamepad. You don't feel like you can do that here. It feels just like a regular button that's oversized. Definitely not a deal breaker, but it kind of takes out the GameCubiness of having GameCube Joy-Cons, if that makes any sense. The Wizard is a solid set of third-party Joy-Cons that really plays to those who sorely love and miss the GameCube gamepad. They're a good product, but for someone who never owned a GameCube, or someone who just loves the Switch button configuration, I'd say the Hyperion still edges this one out, and at this point in time is still my go-to set of third-party Joy-Cons. But if you love the GameCube and you want a more authentic feeling way to enjoy a lot of the GameCube re-releases that are on the Switch, the Wizard might be just what you're looking for. Are they a perfect replication of what the GameCube gamepad felt like? No. But do they come pretty damn close? Absolutely. If you guys are interested in the Wizard by NYXI, I'll put links in the description below. Until next time, this is Ness, signing out.